Okay, so we are now recording, and again, welcome to the second part of chapter 6. Okay, so in the first part, we were able to cover the fundamental concept, especially the nomenclature of benzene and its derivatives. No? So, as you can see, depending on the number of substituent of benzene, you can have different types of naming. No? So for one substituent only, sometimes you have the common name. For two substituents, you will need to use the common name to be followed by the name of the other substituent now. And depending on their position, you can call them ortho, para, and meta substituted benzene. And then if you have multiple substituents, so more than two, then you can still use the common name of the benzene derivative, and the other substituents will be named as is. And then your numbering, of course, you know that already. You should assign locants, no? Beginning with the highest priority, the one that bears your common name. And then for the other substituents, it's either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which sequence will give the lowest number. Okay. So yun lang naman yung concept ng ginawa natin last time. So more on nomenclature lang. So today, what we're going to do is we will focus on the reactions of benzene. Okay, so again, just as I said earlier, there's plenty of them. However, just for simplicity, we will just cover the basics. Okay, pero super dami nito as in. Okay, so but for now, let's just focus on the basic. And again, we will skip the part wherein uh, mechanism is needed. We will just focus on what is the reagent needed to achieve a certain product. No? So, kumbaga, it's like more on memorization na lang. Okay? So, no more mechanism. So, with that being said, ito yung discuss natin. Mukha lang siya marami, pero um, madali lang yan. Okay? Sunod-sunod lang yan. Okay? So, let's begin. Okay. So, di ba, sabi ko, yung alkene, di ba, if you have an alkene, it undergoes specific type of reaction. Tawag natin doon addition reaction. If that is an alkene. But, sabi nga natin, yung benzene, it doesn't behave like an alkene primarily because it is aromatic. Ano? And when we say aromatic, the double bonds contribute to the stability, therefore making our molecule non-reactive. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you will not expect benzene to behave like alkene. Okay? So, hindi siya magbe-behave the same way as alkene. Okay? Although there are some parallels, no? Pero technically, hindi sila same. Okay? So again, ang reaction involving alkene is called addition reaction. Pero if you have a benzene, it is not called addition reaction. Rather, we call it the aromatic substitution. Okay? So, bakit aromatic substitution? At ano yung isa-substitute, no? So, aromatic substitution kasi, sabi nga natin, yung double bonds ng benzene, it contributes to the stability. Therefore, hindi mo siya kailangan sirain. Okay? So, kailangan yung end product natin that will not result to a destroyed benzene molecule. Although it is possible, but uh, most of the time, we do not want that to happen. Okay? So, ayaw natin masira yung alternating double bonds, ayaw natin masira yung aromaticity ng ating benzene. So, anong gagawin? So, instead of removing the double bonds, just like what we do in addition reaction of alkene, gagawin natin, magsa-substitute na lang tayo ng specific group of atoms sa benzene ring. Okay? So, for example, ano meaning ng substitution? Di ba may mga hydrogen dyan? Okay? Since sabi natin, yung double bond, bawal sirain, ibig sabihin, ang pwede na lang palitan natin is yung hydrogen. Okay? Isa-substitute na lang natin yung whatever group yung makukuha natin dito. Okay? ipapalit natin yung kung ano man yung pwede natin makuha natin dito sa isa sa mga hydrogen ng benzene. Okay? So, yun yung idea ng aromatic substitution. Again, bakit bawal addition reaction like alkene? Bawal kasi masisira yung aromaticity. Okay? Pag nasira yung aromaticity, unstable yung molecule. Okay? So, medyo unstable siya. Okay? Although possible, pero as much as possible, we don't want that to happen, no? Okay, so pwede pero ayaw natin mangyari 'yon. Okay? So 'yan. So instead of addition, ang gagawin na lang natin ay substitution. Wherein yung hydrogens papalitan natin ng ibang group of atoms. And saan manggagaling yung group of atoms na 'yon? Dito. I-discuss natin 'yan lahat. Okay? So, yan. Dito tayo kukuha ng mga pwede ikabit sa benzene. Okay? So, kapag halogen yung kinabit mo, you can have a halogen derivative ng benzene. Kunwari, nitric acid yung dinagdag mo, you can have a nitrobenzene. Okay? Kunwari, ito yung kinabit mo, ito yung magiging product. Ito kinabit mo, ito yung magiging product. Ito yung kinabit mo, ito yung magiging product. Okay? So, ganun. So, mapapansin mo, hindi lahat ng atom kakabit sa kanya. Only specific portion. Okay? So, only specific portion of the molecule yung ikakabit natin, yung ipapalit natin rather sa hydrogen ng benzene. Okay? So, again, for simplicity, we will skip the mechanism. Rather, we will just focus on ano yung magiging produkto. Okay? Ano yung magiging product ng reaction. Okay, so substitution lang naman siya. Palitan mo lang yung hydrogen. Okay, so start tayo. The first reaction of benzene will be the halogenation. Okay, so halogenation. If you react your alkene with a halogen, ano mangyayari? Kunwari, Br2. What will happen? It will be a dye substituted magiging dye substituted diba? Alkyl halide. Okay? So, ganyan yung mangyayari. Magkakaroon ng anti-addition. Kung naalala nyo pa yung diniscuss natin last time sa asynchronous video. Ayun. So, gagawa siya ng bromonium ion. Then, yung isang kakabit sa likod. That's why yung isang bromine nasa harap. Yung isang bromine nasa likod. Okay? So, yun. So, yan yung usual na kaganapan sa alkene. Pero when you do the same sa benzene, kunwari yung benzene, ni-react mo dyan, hindi yan mangyayari. Okay? No reaction yan. Kasi, bawal nga yung addition reaction. So, anong pwede mo gawin? Para mag-react yung yung halogen mo sa benzene ring, you need this thing. You need a catalyst. Again, ano yung catalyst? Sabi sa high school nyo, catalyst speeds up the reaction or it provides alternative mechanism. Okay? So, ganun. Kasi bawal nga yung ito lang. Pag halogen lang, i-react mo sa benzene, walang mangyayari. Okay? Hindi yan mag-addition reaction kasi bawal. Ano kailangan mo gawin? You need a catalyst. Okay? So, ano yung catalyst? Okay? So, the catalyst is either aluminum halide or iron-3 halide. Okay? So, it is either aluminum 3 plus halide or Fe3 plus halide. Okay? So, kunwari, Cl2 to. So, kunwari, Cl2. Ang kailangan mo is AlCl3 o kaya FeCl3. O kunwari, bromine yung halogen mo. Ano yung catalyst mo? Edi AlBr3 or FeBr3. So, ganun. Na-typo kami dito. So, itong Cl, it's not really Cl. Kung Cl to, Cl yon. Kapag bromine to, bromine dapat yon. Pag iodine to, iodine dapat yun. Okay? So, ganun na lang. So, again, without your catalyst, no reaction yan. But with the catalyst, let's say, aluminum bromide, okay, magkakaroon na ng reaction. And ano yung product mo? Ang product mo is a mono-substituted benzene. Isa lang sa mga halogen yung kakabit. Okay? And the byproduct will be your HBr. Okay? So, yun yung magiging produkto na. So, bali, in general, you have a benzene plus your X2, your halogen molecule. With the catalyst, they will produce a monosubstituted um, halogenated benzene plus HX. Okay? So, kumbaga, yung X2 na yan, yung dalawang halogen, yung isa dyan papalit dito, yung isa dyan papalit sa, papartneran yung natanggal na hydrogen. Okay? So, yun lang yung first reaction. Okay? So, ganun lang. Ganun lang kasimple. Okay? Basically, kabisaduhin lang yan. Okay, so again, yung catalyst, it's not really Cl lang. Okay? So, it could be AlCl3, AlBr3, AlI3, ayan. So, basta yun. Kung ano yung halogen mo, yun din dapat yun nasa metal ion mo. Okay? Kung Cl2 to, dapat AlCl3 yun. Pag Br2 to, AlBr3 dapat yun. Kapag aluminum iodide yan, kapag iodine to, aluminum iodide yung gagamitin. Okay? So, ganun. So, again, without the catalyst, there will be no reaction. But with the catalyst, no, either this or this, pwedeng aluminum, pwedeng iron 3. So, with the catalyst, dun siya magpapalit. Okay? So, yung original hydrogen dyan, mapapalitin ng isang bromine. Tapos yung isang bromine, kakabit dun sa natanggal na hydrogen to form HBr, the hydrobromic acid. Ganun lang kasimple. Pakita uli natin to. So, you have your chlorine molecule reacting with benzene ring. It will produce a chlorobenzene and hydrochloric acid. Okay? So, ganun. So, always think na yung Cl2, yung isa papalit dito, tapos yung matatanggal na to, kakabit doon. Okay? So, yan. So, yan yung ating products. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. So, the chlorination happens, okay, or any halogenation happens via 3 processes. Although may mechanism dito, pero hindi ko na isasama to sa exam. Okay? Hindi ko na siya sasama sa quiz or sa finals. Pero merong mechanism. Pero sabi ko nga, medyo complicated siya. So, we'll skip them. Okay? But I'll explain, no, bakit ganun yung nangyari. So, first is that before this happens, no, before you produce your product, kailangan ma-activate mo muna yung halogen electrophile. Then, pag na-activate yung halogen electrophile, yun yung kakabit dito sa, dito sa benzene ring. Then, dun na magkakaroon ng electrophilic substitution. So, the electrophilic substitution happen in 2 ways. You have the attack of benzene on the activated halogen and the deprotonation of the benzene carbocation to produce the benzene ring again. Okay? Pero again, yung details niyan is hindi na kailangan kabisaduhin. Okay? Basta alam mo lang na you need to activate this first with the catalyst. Then after nun, mangyayari yung electrophilic substitution. Okay? So what do we mean by that? Na? So ito yung activation ng halogen electrophile mo. Okay? So basically, yung halogen mo kakabit sa catalyst to form the halogen electrophile. Ganyan yung itsura niya parate. So kunwari, bromine meron ka, palitan mo lang tong dalawa ng bromine. Kunwari, you have iodine, palitan mo lang din yan ng iodine. Okay? So, basically, kokopya-kopyahin mo lang lahat. Okay? So, yan. So, that's the proper mechanism. So una, magkakaroon ng activation of electrophile, halogen electrophile. Pag na-activate na yan, doon na magkakaroon ng attack. No? So si benzene, aatakihin yung halogen electrophile natin, makukuha niya yung Cl. Okay? However, look at the product. Yung product ay hindi na siya benzene ring. Okay? Hindi na siya benzene ring, natanggal yung aromaticity niya. So, kailangan ibalik yon. So, yun yung nasa last step, no? So, in order to retain the aromaticity, tatanggalin niya yung hydrogen niya para magkaroon ulit siya ng double bond doon. Okay? So that yung hydrogen na yun yung kakabit sa naiwan na halogen. Okay? So, you have your chlorobenzene, the hydrochloric acid, and of course, you regained your catalyst. Okay? But again, you don't need to remember all this thing. Ang kailangan lang natin matutunan dito is that, ito lang. Yan. So basically, ito lang. No? So you have your benzene ring. When you react it with halogen molecule, there should be a catalyst of aluminum and iron only. Sila lang yung pwede. So that you can form your halogen benzene derivative and hydrochloric acid, hydrobromic acid, or hydroiodic acid. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, more on memorization lang siya. So, that's the first halogenation reaction. Okay? So, again, this will not happen without the catalyst. Kasi kapag wala kang catalyst, yung aluminum or iron 3 salt, hindi ma-activate yung electrophile mo. Okay? Pag hindi na-activate yung electrophile, no reaction. So, do not forget to always include that. Okay? Next one. Okay, so for next one, we have the chlorination. Sorry. Yan na pala yan. Next one, we have the nitration of benzene. Okay? Nitration, ibig sabihin nitro. Okay? So, yan. Nilagyan mo siya ng nitro. Nitro groups. Okay, so paano ka maglalagay ng nitro group? So the nitro group can be obtained from your nitric acid. However, in order for the reaction to completely happen, you need another catalyst, sulfuric acid. Baka isipin nyo, di ba? Sir, di ba acid na yung nitric acid itself? Yes. Ba't kailangan pa ng sulfuric acid? Catalyst kasi siya, ibig sabihin, pampa-acidic talaga siya ng solution. Kailangan kasi super acidic yung solution for that to happen. And apparently, sulfuric acid is one of the most acidic acids out there. Okay? So, kailangan talaga ng sulfuric acid catalyst. So, without the sulfuric acid catalyst, this will not happen. Okay? So, without this, no reaction tayo. Okay? So again, ano mangyayari sa nitration? So sa nitration, ang mangyayari lang is, ayan na. So, think of this as HONO2. Okay? So basically, HNO3 pa rin yan. Na? Sineparate ko lang yung kakabit, pati yung hindi kakabit. Okay? So think of the nitric acid as HONO2. Yan yung basa ko dyan. Okay? Ito din yon. Okay? H, tatlong oxygen, isang N. Ito yan. So, yung NO2, yun yung kakabit dito. And then, di ba matatanggal yung hydrogen? Yung natanggal na hydrogen, kakabit siya dun sa naiwan. Okay? So, kaya ganyan yung product. You have your NO2 here, and you have the water. Okay? So, ganito yung style ng benzene reactions. Sa molecule mo, yung isa kakabit, then the other one, dun kakabit yung hydrogen na tatanggalin. Okay? So, yan. So, more on memorization lang talaga siya. So, again, in nitration process, you need a nitric acid that will be the source of your nitrate ions. Nitro ions, nitro group. However, it must be catalyzed by sulfuric acid. Always kailangan yan. So, do not forget na kailangan siya. Kailangan yan. So yan, yung NO2 kakabit doon, yung HO, kukunin niya si hydrogen para maging water. So yan. So, di ba mapapansin nyo, very analogous siya with this one, no? So, with this one, analogous siya kasi yung Cl, yun yung kakabit doon, yung hydrogen kakabit dito. So, that's why we have chlorobenzene and the HCl. Ayun. So, ganun din dito. So, yung nitric acid, write it as HONO2. Ayan yung basa ko dyan. Yung NO2, kakabit doon. Yung hydrogen, kakabit dito sa OH para maging water. H2O. Yan o. Dalawang H, isang O. Water yan. Again, this will happen in the presence of sulfuric acid catalyst. Without it, it will not happen. Ito yung next na reaction. What if gusto mong gusto mong gumawa ng aniline? Ano uli yung aniline? Yun yung benzene with amino group. Okay? So apparently, you cannot do it directly. Okay? Hindi ka pwede mag-directly add ng amine sa benzene. So una mong gagawin is to nitrate your benzene. Okay? So you will do this mechanism. And kung gusto mo yung nitro group maging amino group, i-reduce mo lang siya. Okay? So in reducing nitrobenzene to aminobenzene, this is needed. Okay? So yan. So you have to have, wag niyo napansinin yung wag niyo napansinin yan. Focus lang kayo dito. So in the reduction of your nitro group to amino group, kailangan mo ng hydrogen gas. Okay? Di ba para siyang alkene din? Para siyang alkene, di ba? Or alkyne. Di ba alam niyo yung alkene kapag ni-react niyo with hydrogen gas in the presence of catalyst, let's say nickel or platinum, magiging alkene yan. So if you have an alkyne, ganun din. Okay? Magiging alkane din siya. However, for benzene derivatives, kapag ginamitan mo yan ng hydrogen, ang mare-reduce lang ay yung nitro group lang yung mare-reduce parate. Yung benzene ring, hindi siya magbabago. 'Di ba? Kakaiba siya, no? Hindi siya katulad ng alkene na magiging alkane yan. So yung benzene pa rin after. Ang magbabago lang is the nitro group. Okay, ito lang yung magpapalit. So from NO2 magiging NH2 na siya. So na siya? Amino group na siya. Okay? So yun. So yung stoichiometry, wala naman tayo masyadong problema dyan. Basta kailangan alam nyo lang that in order for you to produce an amino benzene, kailangan you nitrate it first. Okay? So, kung gusto mo mag-produce ng amino benzene from benzene, hindi yan direct process. Hindi yan direct. Kailangan mo muna gawin is gumawa ka ng nitrobenzene, tas saka ka gumawa ng amino benzene. So, in producing nitrobenzene, ano kailangan? Nitric acid, sulfuric acid. In the nitrobenzene, ano kailangan? Hydrogen gas in the presence of catalyst. Pwede platinum, pwede nickel. Kung mayaman kayo, platinum. Pag medyo nagtitipid, nickel. Ayan. Ayan. So, okay. Yan lang yung process. Ayan naman siya. Teka lang. Ako talaga nag-struggle ako tanggalin to. Uy. Lang ha. Hate ko siya eh. Ba't tayo mawala? Uy, alis ka na. Anyway, nakabother kasi na may ganyan. Ayan, so ganun lang. So, nakatatlong reactions na tayo, di ba? So, ano yung tatlong reactions na yon? The halogenation of benzene, the nitration of benzene, and the reduction of nitrobenzene to produce amino benzene. Mamaya gagawa tayo ng summary and medyo may onting activity tayo. Okay? So, yan. The fourth reaction of benzene will be the sulfonation. Okay? So, dito naman, ang kailangan mo is sulfuric acid lang. Okay? What you just need is sulfuric acid, no? So, siya na mismo yung ilalagay mo. Concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay? Very concentrated sulfuric acid. So, paano yung kabitan nito? I will rewrite this as HOSO3H. Okay? Okay, makabisaduhin nyo yung mga nire-rewrite ko. Okay. So, this is still sulfuric acid. Pero, by writing it this way, alam mo kung sino yung kakabit sa sulfuric acid. Hindi kasi yan isang buo. Okay? Only portion of it. Katulad ng ginawa natin dito sa nitration, hindi buong HNO3 yung kakabit. Only the NO2 lang. Katulad din sa halogenation, hindi buong Cl2 yung kakabit, isa lang. So, ganun din dito sa sulfonation. So, hindi buong H2SO4 yung kakabit. Only the SO3H part. Okay? Okay. So, yan. So, only this part. So, ano mangyayari? So, ito, kakabit yan doon. Yung sulfur atom yung kakabit. Okay? And then, yung hydrogen, sasamahan niya yung water. Okay? Sasamahan niya yung OH to produce water. So, ayan. So, you have your benzene, sulfonic acid. Ang tawag sa benzene kapag ganyan, sulfonic acid. Okay? Sulfonic acid. Ang tawag kasi dito ay sulfonate. Okay? Ayan. Ang tawag dyan ay sulfonate. So, again, it is very important na alam nyo kung ano yung kakabit sa inyong reagent. No? So, again, for nitric acid, ano yung kakabit dyan? Yung NO2 lang. Ito lang yung kakabit. Tapos ito, magpo-produce ng water. Sa sulfuric acid, similar lang din. Ang kakabit lang dyan ay SO3H. Ito lang yung kakabit. The sulfonate ion. Ito, nitro group. Okay. Nitro group tawag dito. Ito, sulfonate ion. So, ganun lang. Basically, just remember all of them lang. Okay? So, yan. Ilang reaction na tayo? 4 na. Mamaya gawa tayo ng summary para mas madali yung review ninyo. Okay? So, yan. So, that's the sulfonation reaction. Simple lang na. Ano yung application na ito? Itong reaction na to, yung sulfonation reaction, ito yung ginagamit to produce your detergent. Okay? Detergent, yung mga detergent powder. Ayan. So, alam nyo yun naman, yung mga Pride, yung mga Champion, ayan. So, yun. Sila yung ginagamit to produce your detergent, no? So, sulfonation reaction yung ginagawa doon. Okay? Usually, kasi, ang precursor ng ating mga detergent ay dodecyl benzene. Okay? Dodecyl benzene. And then, you react it with sulfuric acid to produce the dodecyl benzosulfonic acid. Ang daming sinabi. Sulat ko. Dodecyl. Yung first reaction, yung number 1, that will produce dodecyl benzosulfonic acid. Okay. So, basically, yan yung benzene na may teka lang, i-rewrite ko lang. So, yung first product ay ito. Ayan, so bali ganyan lang. So, ano yan? Sulfonation product lang. Okay? So, yan. SO3H. Okay? And then, after nun, i-react mo siya with sodium hydroxide. Bakit kailangan ng sodium hydroxide? just to neutralize, no? Siyempre naman, magulat ka, no? Naglagay ka ng detergent, nasunog yung balat mo. Although minsan, di ba, nakakasunog ng balat yung detergent. And kasi medyo ano siya, medyo matapang talaga. Pero yun ang idea. After you acidify it, kailangan i-react mo siya with sodium hydroxide para hindi siya maging acidic. Para yung hydrogen sa dulo matanggal, mapalitan ng sodium. Ayun na yung SDS, the sodium 4-dodecyl benzosulfonate. Okay? Ayan. So, yun lang yung purpose ng second reaction. Para yung acid, yung sulfonic acid natin, maging salt na. Salt yon, kaya nga buo-buo yung detergent. Ayun. Originally, liquid yan talaga. Pero pag hinalo mo yung sodium hydroxide, mamumuo yan. Salt siya. Kaya solid yung ating detergent. Kaya di ba kapag ginawa mo yung detergent at nilublob mo yung kamay mo sa tubig, di pa sobrang init. Yan, kasi siguro acidic siya or basic siya. Kaya mainit sa kamay. So, ganun. So, medyo nakakalapaso din yan, no? Kasi naalala ko dito sa bahay. May tela dito sa taas, no? Sa labahan namin. Doon sa tela, may onting powder ng detergent. Tapos umulan, nabasa. Tapos hindi namin napansin na may detergent ko. Pagkabuklat namin ng tela, butas na siya. Butas na. Siguro kasi sobrang acidic or sobrang basic ng detergent. Kaya nasira yung tela. So yan. Yan, nangyayari lang yan kapag naiwan mo talaga sa tubig yung tela mo. Umulan kasi that time, kaya yan, nasira. Kaya kapag naglalaba, kailangan i-rinse nyo talaga siya na maigi. Otherwise, masisira yung damit niya. Kaya minsan, di ba, namumuti. No? Tapos mamaya, duminipis na yan, then yan, naghihimol-mol na, then sira na yung damit. Okay. Anyway, ang dami kong sinabi. So, yun yung application ng sulfonation. When benzene reacts with sulfuric acid, the sulfonate group, SO3H, yan yung kakabit sa benzene ring. Okay? So, yun. Okay. Malapit na tayo matapos. So, alkylation. Alkylation, ito yung ginagamit in order for your benzene to have an alkyl group. Okay? So, alkyl group. Ano meaning uli ng alkyl group? Hydrocarbon. Okay? So, pwedeng alkane yan. Okay? So, kunwari, gusto mo yung benzene mo magkaroon ng alkane. O kunwari, from benzene, gusto mo gumawa ng toluene. Ano gagawin mo? So, ganito lang. So, di ba toluene ang nasa dulo nun ay CH3? Okay? So, kung ano yung alkyl group na gusto mo idugtong sa benzene mo, yun yung gagawin mong ang tawag dito, alkyl halide. Okay? So, ito yung alkyl halide. Kung ano yung carbon groups na gusto mo idugtong, yun yung R. Ito yung carbon group na gusto mo idugtong sa benzene mo, yun yung ilalagay mo na alkyl halide. And then yung X, kahit anong halogen yan, usually ginagamit is chlorine. Okay? So, kunwari gusto mo gumawa ng toluene or methyl benzene, okay? Kailangan i-react mo yung benzene mo with methyl chloride, okay? Or chloromethane. Okay? And then, of course, you need a catalyst so that magkakaroon ng substitution. Always kailangan ng catalyst. So, itong toluene, ito yung kakabit doon. Yung methyl, yun yung kakabit doon. Hydrogen, may kipag-swap siya to Cl. So that you will have your toluene and the HCl. So again, I will give you more examples on this. Okay? So basta ang idea, kung gusto mo magkaroon ng alkyl group yung benzene mo, kailangan meron kang alkyl halide. Okay? Anong alkyl halide yung kailangan? It depends kung ano yung gusto mo ikabit. Okay? Kunwari gusto mo magkabit ng methyl, edi chloromethane yung gagamitin mo. Paano kung gusto ko ng ethyl? Ethyl kunwari. What if I want to have an ethyl? So, ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo ng ethyl, ang kailangan mo would be ethyl chloride. Ganun lang kasimple. Ethyl chloride, CH3, CH2, Cl. So, ito, yung kakabit dito, then yung HCl, magsasama sila. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Kung ano yung alkyl group na gusto mo ilagay, yun yung alkyl halide na ihahalo mo sa solution. Alkyl halide, so basically, kung ano yung carbon chain mo na yan, lagyan mo lang ng Cl sa dulo. And of course, do not forget the catalyst. Kasi without the catalyst, reactions with benzene will never happen. Okay? So, ayan. So, di ba parang papansin nyo, paulit-ulit lang siya, no? Tignan nyo. So, sa sulfonation, ganun din, no? So, yung isang portion ng molecule, yun yung kakabit. The other portion, yun yung tatanggap na natanggal na hydrogen. Okay? So, water. Sa nitration, ganun din. Yung nitro group yung kakabit. Yung hydrogen na matatanggal, kakabit dito. Sa alkylation, basically, you have your alkyl group. Yun yung kakabit dito sa benzene. And then, yung hydrogen, kakabit siya sa chlorine. Okay? Usually, chlorine yung ginagamit sa alkylation. Okay? So, ganun lang. Paulit-ulit lang siya. So, basically, alamin mo lang kung ano ikakabit mo dun. Okay? So, that's the alkylation. Okay? And, of course, the last one, last na to for the benzene alone, will be the acylation. Do not be confused with the alkyl and the acyl. Ano ba meaning ng alkyl? Ang alkyl ay carbon chain lang. Okay? So again, alkyl, carbon chain lang siya. Puro carbon lang. Ano naman meaning ng acyl? Ang acyl ay may carbonyl. Okay? So ito yung acyl. Yun ay may carbonyl. Let me redraw it. Ayan. So ito yung acyl. Itong part na to yung acyl. Yung RC double bond O. Yun yung acyl. Okay? So, ba't mo kailangan ng acyl? Kasi sometimes, di ba, gusto mo ng benzaldehyde, gusto mo ng ayun, so kunwari gusto mo benzaldehyde, o yun na nasa isip ka. O kaya kunwari gusto mo nito, propyl, butyl phenol, something like that. Charge lang ako. So, yun, kunwari gusto mo ng mga ganong compounds, yung may carbonyl group connected to the benzene, then you need an acylation reaction. Okay? So, paano mo malalaman kung anong reagent yung ihahalo mo? Anong R group yung ihahalo mo? So, basically, tingin ka lang sa product. No? So, tingin ka lang sa product, then, yung benzene, palitan mo muna siya ng halogen. Let's say Cl ulit. So, itong molecule na to, yung reagent mo. Okay? So, whatever the final product is, tanggalin mo lang yung benzene, palitan mo ng chlorine. Ayun yung yun yung molecule na i-react mo with benzene. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, ano mangyayari dito? Etong carbon na to, kakabit yan dito. Yung hydrogen, kakabit siya sa Cl. So that you will produce this thing and hydrochloric acid. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, basically, alamin mo lang, ito yung acyl group ko, palitan mo lang ng halogen yan. Yun yung i-react ko dun. Okay? And then, yung carbon ng carbonyl, yung kakabit dito sa benzene, and then yung hydrogen matatanggal, mapapalitan ng Cl. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, katulad lang din siya ng ibang reaction. Alamin mo lang kung ano yung kailangan mo ikabit. Okay? So, for example, sa alkylation, ang kailangan mo ikabit ay puro carbon chain lang, alkane. So, kailangan alkyl chloride ilagay mo. Pero sa acylation, kunwari gusto mo ng acyl group na ikakabit sa benzene, edi kailangan acyl chloride yung ihalo mo. Okay? So, tawag dito ay acyl chloride. Sometimes it is also called as acid chloride. Yun yung tawag sa molecule na to. Okay? Yung X doon, yun yung halogen, usually chlorine. Tatanggalin mo lang siya. Then, yung carbonyl group, yun yung ikakabit mo sa benzene ring. Okay? So, yung mechanism na ito, super complicated. But again, just as I said, we don't care about the mechanism for now because we want things to be simple. 1 week lang naman yung discussion natin for every functional group. So, yun lang. Okay? So, to summarize, bago tayo dumiretso sa phenol, hindi lang yun sa phenol eh. To summarize the reactions of benzene, ayaw pa rin niya matanggal. Wait lang, burahin ko lang. Naalala niyo pa ba siya? Anyway. And bad memories. Pero important yan. Okay? Anyway. So, yan. So, to summarize the reaction of benzene, nagawa ako ng map. Okay? And then yung map na to is, yun yung magiging guide nyo. Okay? So, let's have the benzene in the middle. And ipakita natin yung hydrogen na pwede palitan. Ayan. So, marami siyang pwedeng pagdaanan. Okay? So, maraming pwede pagdaanan itong ating benzene. So, ano yung mga pwede? Una is the, ano ba yung una dito? It's the halogenation. Okay? So, the first will be the halogenation. So, siguro dito na lang. If you react your benzene with X2 with your FeX3 or AlX3 catalyst, sa baba ko na lang ilalagay catalyst. Okay, so AlX3, FeX3, so you will have your chlorobenzene plus HCl. So, yan yung isa sa map natin. Ano pa yung next reaction ng benzene? Halogenation, nitration. Okay? So, let's do the nitration. So, nitration, kailangan mo ng nitric acid muna. So, we can rewrite this as HONO2. Ang kailangan mo na catalyst ay H2SO4. Kailangan may catalyst kasi pag walang catalyst, di mangyayari yung reaction. Okay? So, yung catalyst indicate ko as cat. Okay? Catalyst. Okay, pangit yung aking benzene. So, that will give us nitrobenzene plus, ano yung plus? Plus water. Okay? So, itong reaction map after natin matapos to, you can take screenshot para mas madali nyo ma-review. Ayusin ko lang. Ayan. Di ba naalala nyo dun sa discussion ng alkane, alkyne, may reaction map akong pinakita sa dulo. Kasi at least dun mga kabisado nyo yung nangyayari. Dati kinakabisado ko lang din yan. Kunwari, gusto nyo yung nitro maging amino. Ano yung kailangan mo gawin? You need to react it with hydrogen gas under the catalyst na platinum. Okay. Kunwari, platinum. See? Ayan. Kailangan mo ng platinum. O kaya nickel. Okay? So, yan. Aminobenzene na siya or toluene na siya. Ano sunod? Ang sunod ay sulfonation. Okay? Sulfonation. Kailangan sa sulfonation ay H2SO4 lang. Yun na rin yung mismong catalyst. So, you will have your benzosulfonic acid. Ano yung kakabit dito? Rewrite ko just like what I did there. So, ang kakabit dyan ay SO3H. Para mas mabilis yung makabisado. Ano yung idudugtong niya? Okay? Ano pa? The alkylation. Okay? The alkylation here, dito na lang. Kasya pa naman ata. Alkylation, RX. Yung R, any carbon chain yan. Alkyl group yan. And of course, the catalyst will be AlX3 or FeCl3 pa rin. Same pa rin naman as the others. So, magpo-produce ka ng benzene ring na may pangit. Magpo-produce ka ng benzene ring na may R, okay? Plus, of course, HX. Ito plus H2O. Ito plus H2O din. And lastly, the acylation. Okay, acylation, you have your acyl, RC double bond OX. Yan yung acyl. Yan yung kakabit. Okay. And then of course, you have to have your catalyst again. Ang catalyst mo ay AlX3 or FeX3 pa rin. Okay, so yan. Yung R, palitan nyo na lang kung ilang carbon chain gusto nyo, kayo bahala. Ayan. So, basically, this is the reaction map for benzene. So, ilang reactions na discuss natin. Ganun lang kabibilis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, we have 6 reactions that we can do for benzene for it to have derivatives. And take note that it doesn't follow the addition reaction. Rather, what it does is the substitution reaction. Or specifically, it's called electrophilic substitution. So, lahat ng yan, electrophilic substitution. Yan. Okay? So, tandaan nyo lang yung name. So, that's the summary of the benzene reaction. Pero hindi pa tayo tapos. So, hindi pa tayo tapos. Because we have to talk about phenols, na. And bakit siya important, makikita nyo mamaya. Okay? Kung kayo nagmamaxipil, dati kasi nagmaxipil ako nung, 16 years old. Nasunog yung balat ko. Pero, nung nagpa-derm care na ako, yun, umayos na siya. Okay. Alam nyo naman, pag may pimple, gusto natin tanggalin. Yung pala, it will go naturally pala. Ako, bihira na ako magka-pimple. Although even stressed pa rin ako, pero hindi na. Just let it, na lang. Magpa-treatment na lang kayo. So anyway, balik na ulit tayo sa main topic natin. So again, this is the summary. You can take screenshot of it, no? So screenshot na kayo dyan, print screen. Ayan. Or screen snipping. Ito screen snipping, ito yun. Okay. Very helpful to And screen snip ko para ma-paste ko dito sa group chat natin. Ayan. Paste ko lang sa group chat. So that may copy kayo. Yan na yung summary. Okay, so andyan na siya sa group chat. Diba ang bilis? Anyway, let's proceed with the next part of our discussion, which is on phenol and antioxidants. Okay? Kasi apparently, our mga natural product, let's say yung mga tsaa, may mga phenol pala sila. No? And apparently, phenols are good antioxidants. No? Yun yung mga nakikita sa tea, mga herb extract, no? Mga MX3 capsule, ayun. So, yung mga pinagkukuha nila sa halaman, antioxidant sila. And we will explain why, okay? But before we go there, let's talk about phenols in general, okay? So, phenol, even though it is an OH, although it is an OH, it is not basic. Okay? Di ba alam natin kapag OH basic, ibig sabihin, it, mataas pH niya. Okay? Ayan. So, kapag may OH, di ba, nasa isip natin, basic. Okay, basic. Pero apparently, hindi pala siya basic. It is actually an acid. Okay? Acid pala siya. Okay? So, even though may OH siya, acid pala siya. Okay? And of course, what do we know about acids? They react with a base. For example, ito, base, to produce your salt. Okay? So, ganun yung typical trend pala ni phenol. Okay? So, phenol, even though it has an OH, it is not a base. Rather, it is an acid which can react with our bases such as sodium hydroxide to produce salt and, of course, water. So, ganun pala si phenol. Dati kasi hindi natin alam yan eh. But now, we realize na phenols can do acid-base reaction to produce salt such as sodium phenoxide and water as the byproduct. Okay? So, yan. So, that's the first reaction of phenol. Acid-base reaction. So, again, before we move to the next slide, phenol is acidic. Even though it has an OH, no? Hindi siya basic. Acidic pala siya. Okay? So, what causes its acidity? Ito yung question usually pag BS kami. What causes the acidity of the phenol? So, there are many factors that contribute to the acidity of phenol, but the major one is that the resonance. Okay? Resonance na naman yung dahilan bakit siya acidic. Okay? So, resonance ang dahilan bakit siya acidic. Kasi kapag natanggal daw yung hydrogen, stable pa rin yung molecule. So, ibig sabihin, acidic siya. Di ba yung acid sila yung nagtatanggal ng hydrogen? So, yun. So, apparently, if yung phenol, tanggalan mo siya ng hydrogen, stable siya. So, yun yung reason na ito, bakit siya acidic? Ang sagot natin dyan ay resonance because even though you remove the hydrogen, the molecule is still stable. Okay? So, yan. So, yan. So, that's it, no? So, phenol. Other reaction of phenol involve redox process. Alam niyo naman yung meaning ng redox, di ba? Reduction, oxidation. So, ito yung second reaction. Kaya kanina, acid-base reaction. Okay, so that's the acid-base reaction of phenol. Ngayon, what we have here is the redox reaction. Okay? So, phenol, ito yung phenol. If you react it with sodium dichromate and in the presence of sulfuric acid catalyst, it will actually be converted into benzoquinone. Okay? And this benzoquinone can be further oxidized, can be further reduced into hydroquinone. So, ano yung kinalaman nito sa Maxipil? Sa Maxipil, kung meron kayo dyan ngayon, tignan nyo yung likod. Nakalagay doon, hydroquinone. Hydroquinone. Kung gusto nyo ipakita, sa Google tayo. Hydroquinone in Maxipil. Ayan. May hydroquinone siya. Ayan. So, basahin natin. Tretinoin, yan yung antibacterial. Hydroquinone, yan yung pampaputi, no? Pampatanggal ng dark spots. 'Di ba pag nagka-pimple ka tapos tineres mo, 'di ba minsan nangingitim? Syempre alam ko 'yan. Tagyawat boy ako dati. So yan, nalagyan mo siya ng Maxipil so that the tretinoin will kill the bacteria. The hydroxyquinone will lighten the color of the skin. However, if you use it too much, no, mamumula yung skin mo kasi masusunog siya. Literally, magpipil talaga yan. Kaya nga Maxipil eh. Ayan. So, yung mga hydroquinone pala, sila ay galing sa phenol. No? Natalsikan din ako ng phenol nung college. Pero sa daliri lang naman. So, nung tumalsik yung phenol, namuti talaga yung part na natalsikan sa akin. Tapos, later on, na-realize ko na yung reason pala bakit medyo pumuputi din yung skin after mag-Maxipil is that yung phenol, basically, kinonvert lang siya into hydroxyquinone. Okay? And the hydroxyquinone, the hydroquinone, ayun yung yun yung nasa Maxipil. Okay? So, yan. So, kaya pala nakaputi ng skin yung Maxipil. Kasi galing siya sa phenol. Okay? But again, excess of it will cause inflammation. Okay? Kaya kapag mag-Maxipil, isang ganun lang, huwag nyo i-ganun na matindi. Or ideally, wag na kayo mag-Maxipil. Lalo kung hindi naman matindi yung pimples nyo. Ano na lang, proper hygiene talaga. Palit kayo ng bedsheet always, maligo, ayan. Tapos pag natutulog, huwag niyo imudmud yung ulo niyo sa unan. Kasi ganun ako dati. Ganun yung ulo ko sa unan. So para mabawasan yung pimples, ayan. Kailangan naka-face up ka parate. Ayun lang. And of course, derma. Magpa-extraction kayo. Ayun. Alam ko nanonood kayo ng mga ganyan sa TikTok. Yung mga extraction, kaya sa doctor, pimple popper. Yan. Effective yun kasi hininto ko rin yung Maxipil ko. Kasi yun nga, susunog yung balat ko. Namumula yung buong mukha ko. Kaya nagpa-extraction ako. Derm care lang, mura lang dun eh. So yun, after isang isang buong session, mga 6 meetings ata yun. Tapos na, tanggal na yung aking pimple problems until now. Ayun. Ang dami kong kwento. Anyway, basta ang alam nyo, pwede ito ma-relate sa buhay. So, yan. So, yung phenol, it can be oxidized to benzoquinone, and the benzoquinone can be further reduced into hydroquinone, which is the primary substance found in cosmetic products. No? And actually, hindi lang cosmetic products. Okay? Marami pa. Okay? So, yung hydroquinone, pwede rin pala siya gamitin for developer ng photographic film. Ako ay nagte-take din ako ng pictures using film. I actually have a film camera here. So every time na lumalabas ako, I bring it with me to take photos. Then pinapa-develop ko siya. So one of the old methods in developing photographic film is to use benzoquinone. Okay? So yung benzoquinone, hahaluan nila ng silver ion, usually silver iodide, silver chloride, silver bromide. So haluan nila yun ng silver ion so that magkakaroon uli ng redox reaction. So this is basically redox ulit. No? So in the redox reaction, you will produce a para-benzoquinone. Okay? So the para-benzoquinone appears to be yellow. Yellowish siya. Kaya mapapansin mo yung mga lumang film, medyo madilaw siya kasi they used para-benzoquinone. Okay? So yun yung yun yung ginagamit na. Kaya tingnan nyo dito, medyo yellowish yung ilang part. Sepia tawag doon. So para benzoquinone yung dahilan bakit ganun. Yellowish siya. And then the dark spots could be attributed to some of the silver that is deposited as solids. Ayun. So, siya yung ginagamit sa film. But currently, iba na yung method in developing film. Hindi na tayo gumagamit ng liquids. So, ngayon, ang ginagamit na ay, na lang, di ba yung negative ng film, ipapasok na lang siya sa computer. And then, i-scan yung lahat ng images doon, i-invert na lang. Then yun, you have your pictures na. Okay. So, yun. So, medyo advanced na ngayon. Pero dati, you really need to do this thing. Okay. So, may mga ganong technology na yung film na mismo ilalagay mo, tapos bahala na siya. Pero the older one is that yung film, after taking photos, ilulublob mo siya sa solution ng hydroquinone. Okay. And then with silver ion. Shake mo yan. Then, after nun, madedevelop na yung negative ng film. Ayan. And then yung negative, process mo na lang sa computer, magiging na siya, the positive color. Okay? Pero ito yung ginagamit yung sa black and white lang. Okay? So kapag colored film, iba yung chemicals dun. So yun. Ayan. That's one of the reactions of phenol. So the first one is the acid-base reaction. Acidic yung phenol because of the resonance structure. So even though you remove the hydrogen, it will still be stable, causing it to be more acidic. Okay? And then you have your reduction reaction, redox reaction. Your benzene can be oxidized to produce benzoquinone, and the benzoquinone can be reduced to create the hydroquinone used in cosmetic products. No? And not only in cosmetic products, it can also be used in developing negative films. No? Ayan. So, with the help of silver ions. Okay? Siya yung ginagamit as photo developer. Next one is the halogenation of phenol. Okay? So ito medyo technical na to pero kabisaduhin na lang natin. So the halogenation of phenol can happen. Okay? So katulad lang din ng reactions kanina. So the halogenation of phenol does not require any catalyst at all. Okay? So wala na siyang catalyst na kailangan. Okay? So ano na lang siya, halogen na mismo. Kung iniisip nyo, ano po yung CS2? So that is a solvent, no? Solvent lang yan. Non-polar solvent. So apparently, if you put your phenol into a non-polar solvent at cold temperature, and at cold temperature, monohalogenated phenol lang yung mapoproduce niya. Okay? And then the position of the halogen is either ortho or para. Okay. So yan. So monohalogenated phenol yung product. Na ortho or para yung position. Okay. Meron din sa meta pero hindi masyado. Okay. So yan yung pag malamig, no? If it is cold, then it will produce monohalogenated phenol wherein the halogen is positioned at the ortho or the para position. Pero kapag yan ay nilagay mo sa aqueous solution, o nilagay mo sa water, magiging siya, trihalide phenol. Okay? Wherein yung halogen ay nasa ortho and para pa rin. Meron sa meta pero hindi siya masyado observed. Okay? Bakit? Masyadong complicated na yung explanation doon. It has something to do with the Meissenheimer complex. Huwag niyo na alamin. Pang BS Chem na yan eh. It's too technical. Basta ito yung kailangan natin na. So that the phenol, when you react it with halogen in a non-polar solvent in cold temperature, it will produce a monohalogenated phenol. And the position of the halogen could either be at the ortho or the para position. However, if you have placed your phenol in water, then what will happen is that you will produce a trihalide phenol. Okay, and the position of the halogens will be at the ortho, ito yung ortho, and the para position. So lahat sila. Meron sa meta pero sabi ko nga hindi siya masyado observed. Okay, so that's the third reaction of phenol. Kakabisaduhin na lang yan. Okay, so kapag cold, ito, kapag nasa water or aqueous, or in water, ito yung product. Okay? Next one. We have the nitration of phenol naman. So in the nitration of phenol, very similar lang din with the nitration reaction. The nitration of phenol produces ortho para products. Okay, so you could either have an ortho or a para nitrophenol. Okay, so yan. So that will happen if you have dilute nitric acid and low temperature. However, if you use concentrated nitric acid, you will produce a trinitrophenol. And the position of the nitro groups will be at ortho and para. So hindi lang siya actually kay phenol, it can also happen to toluene. And this has something to do with the bond I mentioned last time. Okay? So, 'di ba? Trinitrotoluene. Ito trinitrophenol to eh. So, yung trinitrotoluene, it can be made by just mixing toluene, which is a liquid, and concentrated nitric acid. Yun yung dahilan bakit bawal yung masyadong maraming tubig sa sa mga airport, sa airplane mismo, or even sa LRT, pinagbabawal yung maraming tubig. Okay? Minsan pinapainom pa sa'yo yung tubig para ma-sure na tubig talaga yan. That happens, lalo na pag nag-face-to-face ulit tayo, may experience na yung mahabang pila sa LRT. So, yun. Isa sa mga gine-check nila is yung tubig. Okay? Bakit? Because of the liquid bombs. So, toluene is a liquid. Concentrated sulfuric acid is of course a liquid. When you combine them, it will produce a trinitrotoluene. Okay? Pwede rin naman trinitrophenol if phenol yung starting material mo. Okay? So, yun. Nasabi ko na kung paano gumawa nun, pero ito yung disclaimer natin that it is a regulated chemical na. Okay? So, purchasing nitric acid is very impossible if ikaw ay normal na tao lang. So in order for you to purchase nitric acid, you should be a registered chemist, which is ako. Okay naman ako dun. And you must have a laboratory which is focused on research or academic purposes lang. So yun lang. Research, academic, o kaya testing lab lang yung pinagbebentahan. And of course, very limited yung supply. Naalala ko nung bumili, nag-try kami mag-purchase nito. Isa sa mga requirement ay may kasama kaming police. Ayan. So, dun sa letter namin to a chemical company that sells this, sabi niya dun, in order for you to purchase this material, you have to have a PNP permit and you will be escorted by the police as you purchase the material. Grabe, no? Grabe hirap. Kasi syempre ginagamit to sa bomba. And of course, hindi lang sa bomba, even sa paggawa ng mga shabu-shabu. Ayan. Kaya very regulated yan. So only few people can purchase this. So academe and research and then industry. And of course, kailangan chemist ka for you to buy this. So yun. Kami kasi, although alam namin gumawa ng mga yan, we abide by our oath na hindi namin gagawin yan. Okay? If hindi siya research purpose. Okay? So, yan lang. So, that's the, what's this? This is the fourth reaction of our phenol. Okay? So, that's the nitration of phenol. And then, of course, the last one, maybe this is the number 5. The phenol as your antioxidant. Okay, and it is oxidation in nature. Okay? So, punta muna tayo sa concept na ano yung oxidant. Okay? Oxidant are molecules that ano, oxidant are molecules that has free radicals. Okay? Okay. So, kung naririnig nyo yun sa mga commercial, mga free radical, totoo yun. Okay? Hindi sila nagsisinungaling doon. Okay? So, paano ba tayo nagkakaroon ng free radical? Okay? So, actually, yung pagkapanis ng food, it can be attributed to that. Okay? So, for example, we have here a section of fatty acid, hydrocarbon chain. Present yan sa mga karne, no? Yung mga taba-taba ng karne. Okay? Di ba, ang baho nila kapag napapanis sila, no? So, apparently, you can remove that rancidity, rancid smell using antioxidants such as phenol. Okay? So, yan. So, kunwari, may food ka, ayan, na-expose siya sa oxygen in the air and mainit sa paligid, di ba mabilis mapanis yung food kapag mainit tapos naka-expose sa air. So, yan. Bakit? Kasi, apparently, yung oxygen, it can combine with your fatty acid chain in the food, producing a hydroperoxide. Okay? So, yun yung molecule ng hydroperoxide. Yung oxygen mismo yung didikit sa fatty acid chain ng pagkain mo. And then, what will happen next, no? That, hydroxyperoxide, no, can produce carbon radical. And ano yung idea natin? Okay? Nung nag-Lewis structure tayo, ano sabi ko about radicals? Radicals are very reactive. Okay? Kung may makita siyang ibang molecules, aawayin niya. Okay? Magre-react siya doon. So, yan. So, basically, your hydroperoxides can further decompose into a radical. And what will happen if you have a radical? Ang dami. Okay? So, yan. So, yan yung mangyayari. You will have a chain propagation step. Huwag nyo nakabisaduhin yan. The idea lang is that series of reaction will happen, okay, producing several byproducts. And sometimes yung byproducts na yun can lead to the degradation of food. No? Okay? Yung mababaho na mga smell. Yan. Kaya nasisira yung pagkain. Commonly, ang byproduct ng reaction na to is mga acid. Kaya di ba yung pagkain, pagpanis, maasim. Okay? Kasi yan yun. So, pag nag-react yung mga radicals, one of the byproduct is actually an acid. No? Kaya maasim at mabaho yung food pag panis. So, nangyayari din to inside our body, especially if you are subjected to stress, pero hindi ka naman mangangasim. Ano lang, medyo mag-deteriorate yung health mo. So, this similar process can also happen inside us, especially when we are subjected to heavy workloads, no? May hirap na assignment na binibigay ni sir. Ayan, may hirap na quiz, may hirap na exam. So, always bombarded tayo by stress, no? So, that's why we need to drink antioxidants, okay? So, antioxidants, commonly for those antioxidants, they contain the phenol group, okay? So, yan, no, tignan nyo. The vitamin E, which is a vitamin, of course. It has a phenol group. Ayun, yan yung phenol. This one naman, the BHT and the BHA, ito ay mga preservative sa pagkain. Look at them. They have phenol. Okay? So, yun. So, kailangan natin ng mga antioxidant. Hindi lang dyan, di ba? Di ba sa lecture nyo, siguro nakapag-discuss na kayo sa lecture na. Pakita ko yung PowerPoint ng lecture. Sa lecture nyo, ako in-emphasize ko to sa class ko. Saan ba yun? So, in the lecture, ayun no. Sorry. Ayun no, tignan nyo. This is one of the components of our vanilla. Meron siyang, may phenol siya. You have your tea. Ang dami niyang phenol. Okay? Your thymol, you have your phenol. Even capsaicin, it has a phenol. Ayun. So, yung mga natural products na yun, marami siyang phenol. Tawag doon polyphenol. And polyphenols are good antioxidants. Okay? So, what do we mean by antioxidant? Pag may nakita silang radicals sa body mo or sa food, no, sisirain niya yon. Okay? Sisirain niya yung radicals, no. Paano niya sinisira yung radical? Di ba sabi natin stable ang benzene? So, upon the addition of the radical electron, stable pa rin siya. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya magre-react with other molecules, even though kinuha na niya yung radical electron. So, yun yung reason bakit siya tinawag na antioxidant. Pampapigil siya ng oxidation reaction. Siya yung pumipigil ng radicals sa food or sa katawan ng tao. So that's why whenever we consume healthy products such as mga gulay, we drink tea instead of coffee. Okay lang naman yung coffee, pero I don't like coffee kasi masakit tiyan ko. Ayan. If you drink those things na yung mga galing sa halaman, they contain polyphenols which are helpful, no, in removing the toxins in the body, in removing the oxidants. Kaya nga tawag sa kanila antioxidants. Okay? So, kumbaga, they preserve our health so that there will be no further degradation of some molecules in our body that could lead to disease. Okay? Isa akong testament dyan. On the onset of pandemic, no? Syempre, ano, kailangan magtipid, no? So, kumain ako ng gulay. Sinama ko talaga yung gulay sa diet. So, yan, although hindi ako sanay masyado kasi I'm carnivore. Carnivore. Puro ano talaga karne kinakain ko. Pero nung nag-try ako na puro gulay, hindi ako nagkasakit for ilang months. Like 6 months ata akong walang sakit. So yun, thanks for the polyphenols of our plants. No? Kasi they help remove our oxidants in the body so that wala kang sakit. Tapos, nung okay na lahat, no, medyo lumuwag na yung ECQ nun. Ayun, nagkarne-karne na ako, sangyup. Ayun, doon ako nagkasakit-sakit ulit. So, ibig sabihin nun, you still need to incorporate vegetables in your diet, of course, because they are healthy and they are considered antioxidants. Okay? So, that ends our session. No? So, basically, yun yung ating health part ng ating lesson today. So just a quick recap na lang. So there are many reactions for our benzene, okay, and they are simplified by our diagram here. So we have the halogenation, okay, wherein you need your catalyst. You have your nitration, which can further be reacted to hydrogen gas to reduce the nitrate into an amine. Okay. We also have a benzene reaction called sulfonation, wherein you react your benzene with sulfuric acid to produce benzosulfonic acid. And then we have the acylation and the alkylation reaction. Basically, this is a reaction wherein pwede ka magdugtong ng carbon chain, the alkyl group, or pwedeng acyl group, no? You may see double bond O. Okay? So, ayan. So, those are the reactions of benzene. Okay? So, kailangan kabisaduhin nyo lang ano yung kakabit, ano yung kailangan, may catalyst ba o wala. Sagot, may catalyst parate. Okay? So, ayan. And of course, we discussed the notable properties of phenol. Bakit phenol? Kasi interesting siya. Marami siyang application. Okay? So the phenols can do acid-base reaction. Its acidity can be attributed to the resonance of the benzene ring. Okay? So stable kasi siya. So it can be acidic. Also, yung phenol, it can be further oxidized into benzoquinone, which can be reduced into hydroquinone, which is present in many cosmetic products such as Maxipil, na yung mga pampatanggal ng pimples or dark spots sa skin. Yan. So, meron sila yan. And hindi lang doon. Other than cosmetic product, hydroquinones can be used as film developer, no? So, if you are a fan of negative, mga film cameras. Ayun, so may karamay kayo. I also take photos using film camera, although medyo mahal. So, yun. And then the other reaction would be the halogenation of phenol. So depending on the two conditions, you can have either monohalogenated phenol or a trihalogenated phenol. Okay? So kapag malamig, isa lang yung halogen na kakabit. Kapag aqueous, maraming maraming halogen yung kakabit. So that works similarly with the nitration of phenol. Kapag malamig at dilute ang nitrate, isang nitro group lang yung kakabit. Pero kapag yan ay concentrated na nitric acid, tatlo yung kakabit. Saan sila kumakabit? Sa ortho and para positions. And ito yung process sa paggawa din ng bomba. Okay? And yun nga, as I said, hindi nyo magagawa yan. Never. Kasi very regulated siya. Okay? So it is regulated by PIDEA, PNP. Yan. So kailangan may permit talaga. And then of course, the most important thing, okay, kasi it has something to do about our health, is the behavior of phenol as an antioxidant. Okay, oxidants are produced when your molecules react with oxygen in the air. So they form hydroperoxides, and those hydroperoxides can degrade into radicals. Yung radicals na yan, they are very reactive. No? Ang dami nilang reactions na pinupuntahan. And as a result, they sometimes produce acids, no? And aldehydes. No? Yung aldehydes, yun yung mga mababaho. Yung acid, yun yung maasim. Kaya kapag may panis kang pagkain, maasim siya na mabaho. Kasi may aldehyde and carboxylic acids. Okay? So yun. So in order to prevent that from happening, right? In order to prevent the formation of hydroperoxides that lead to degradation of food or even the molecules in our body, we need to use antioxidant, no? And commonly for the antioxidants, synthetic man yan, preservative man yan, or natural, such as vitamins, commonly they contain phenol. Okay, may mga phenol groups sila. Okay? And just as I said, no, dun sa PowerPoint ng lecture, kailangan maggulay kasi marami silang phenol, polyphenol. Okay? Hindi lang naman gulay, no, mga tsaa-tsaa din. Kaya ako pag nasa Starbucks, I don't buy coffee. I buy hibiscus tea with pomegranate pearls. Kasi yung pomegranate itself, yung extract ng pomegranate, no, marami yung natural antioxidants. And then yung hibiscus tea din na yun, antioxidant din yun. So very healthy and masarap. Okay? So ganun. So bawasan nyo yung kape. Kasi yun nakasira ng balance sa body, especially sa acidity. No? Kapag acidic yung ikaw, sasakit tiyan mo. And then kapag kapag matutulog ka, hindi ka makatulog, no? So, iwasan na yung kape. Rather, mag-tsaa na lang kayo. Okay? At least British pa. British style. Okay? So, that ends our lesson for today, no? So, tapos na yung chapter 7, meaning chapter 8 tayo next week. Okay? So, I actually have a practice quiz dito, pero ayusin ko pa siya. Okay? Hindi ko pa siya pinapublish kasi I need to polish some questions. Okay? Pero expect that I will upload them within this week. Okay? So, yan. So, and that's the end, no? Pero siguro, let's have some problems to answer muna. Okay? So, magbibigay ako ng molecule, then determine ano yung gagawin natin. So, I want you to participate in the chat box, pero onting question lang yung ibibigay ko. Kasi some of them ay nasa, some of it ay nasa practice quiz ko ilalagay. Okay? So, just to determine if you still recall everything. Okay? So, kung sino na lang gusto mag-respond, sige, respond. Okay? So, starting from benzene. Okay. So, I will start from a benzene molecule. I want to create starting from benzene molecule, I want to create ano kaya? Ayan. So, I want to create 2-bromo-toluene. So, ano pwede ko gawin? Ala sir, dalawa substituent. Yun dito, puro isang substituent. Okay, to be honest, pwede mo sila pagdugtong-dugtongin. So, after isang reaction, susunod yung isang reaction. Pwede yun. Okay? So, yun. So, pwede mo pagdugtong-dugtongin yan. Lalo na kung marami kang substituent. Okay? So, anong reaction yung kailangan niya i-undergo? Dalawang reaction yan. Okay? So, ano kaya yung dalawang reaction na yun? Ang choices natin, halogenation, sulfonation, nitration, alkylation, acylation, reduction to amine, anim lang ba? Anim lang, no? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, anim lang yung ating pwede gawin. So, ano yung mga pwede natin gawin in order to produce this product? Sabi ni Richard, halogenation. Yes, halogenation is pwede. So, since bromine yung kailangan mo, edi kailangan Br2, Al, Br3. So, you will produce this product. Ano pa susunod? Sige, susunod. Isa na lang. Isang step na lang. Mapoproduce na natin yung product natin. So, after bromination, what can we do? Ano pa pwede gawin? We can do what? Kailangan mo ilagay yung CH3. Paano uli maglalagay ng CH3? Via ito yung choices nyo. Halogenation, sulfonation, nitration, alkylation, acylation, reduction to amine. Alkylation. Okay? Basta gusto mo magdugtong ng carbon, alkylation. Okay? Basta carbon chain. Okay? Pag carbonyl, acylation. So, ito carbon chain yan. Isang carbon lang yan. So, alkylation yung idudugtong mo. Okay? So, after the bromination, para siyang puzzle, no? Papansin nyo. Now, after bromination, you will do an alkylation. Yan, alkylation. So, ano yung reagent mo? Tignan mo, ano yung dinugtong? CH3. Okay? So, di ba CH3? Yan yung idudugtong mo. Ano ba yung format kapag alkylation? Pag alkylation, ang format ay RX, ALX3. Yung R, yun yung idudugtong mo. Ano yung dinugtong natin? CH3. So, yun yung susulat mo. CH3X. Okay? O yung X, kahit anong halogen yan, pero ang ginagamit commonly is chlorine. Okay? So, CH3Cl followed by the catalyst AlCl3. O pwede rin naman bromine. Okay? Pwede din naman bromine para tipid. Kasi may AlBl3 ka na doon. Okay? O pwede rin naman bromine, pwede rin naman chlorine. Doesn't matter, basta ganyan. Okay? So, what you will do is you will do bromination followed by alkylation. Sir, pwede po ba baliktad? Alkylation muna bago bromination? For now, pwede. Okay? So, papayagan natin magbaliktad sila. Pero, pag BS Chem kayo, may proper sequence yan. May proper sequence. Pero sa ating case, di naman tayo BS Chem. So, kahit ano, okay lang. Kahit mag-jumble-jumbled sila, okay lang. Okay? So, yan. Pero again, kapag BS Chem, may correct sequence yan. Pero yan, okay na yan. Pwede na yung pagbigyan. Okay, so there are two steps in producing this product. The bromination or the halogenation and the alkylation. Okay, using methyl bromide. Pwede rin naman methyl chloride. Isa pa. Kasi nagugutom na ako. Isa pa. I'll start with the benzene. Okay, I'll start with the benzene. Ending should be amino methyl. Methyl aniline. Methyl aniline. So, ano yung pwede ko gawin? To methyl aniline. Ano ulit choices? Choices. You have your alkylation, the acylation, sulfonation, halogenation, ano pa ba? Nitration, and your reduction to amine. Okay? Sige. Ito na, last question na to for this day. And then may practice quiz pa naman tayo. Okay, so could anyone tell me what are the steps that I should take? Tatlong steps yan. Okay, so I need 3 reactions to produce my product. What are those 3? Using the options below. I-mention nyo na lang ano yung tatlong yan. Any guess? Dali, hula kayo. Ano yung reactions na yon? To produce 2-methyl aniline from benzene. Tatlong reactions ang hinahanap natin. Okay, sabi ni Richard, nitration. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, so we need a nitration. What else? Dalawa pa. Most likely, ganito uli yung quiz niya. Bibigyan kayo ng reactant, may product, alamin nyo. Ano gagawin? Okay. So, ganun. Multiple choice naman. So, yun. 10 questions ulit tayo sa quiz 6, quiz 7. Yung quiz 6 lang yung 20 kasi. Ang dami na eh. So, siguro ito yung difficult question. Ganito. Then, yung easy question, nomenclature, average question, yun yung basic reaction. Ayan. Damn. Ayan yun, Richard. Pero ano pangalan nun? Yun di ba may nitration? Ano pa yung isa? Nandyan siya sa option sa baba. Tama yung idea. Pero alin doon siya sa anim? Isa pa lang yung tama. Dalawa pa. Calculation and reduction. Ayun, tama. Calculation and reduction. So, yung nitration, ipapartner mo siya with reduction. Kasi after nitration, NO2 yon. And then, yung NO2, you can reduce it to amine. Okay? Using hydrogen. Okay? So, let's show the reaction, the sequence of reaction. So, unahin ko na muna yung alkylation. So, alkylation, I will be able to create toluene. Okay? Okay, so paano gagawin ko? Ano yung reagent ko dyan? Siyempre, tingin ka sa ating format. Ano uli yung format kapag alkylation? RX, ALX3. Ano yung R? Di yung molecule na idudugtong mo. Okay? So, ano yung reagent natin? Sige, kayo din. Ano yung reagent na ilalagay ko dito? Ito, Cl3 na lang gamitin natin. It will be? Ano? Ano formula na ilalagay ko dito? RX yan. O yung X, Cl na. Ano yung R? Ano yung R? Ayun na oh. Ayun. So, kopyahin mo na lang yun. Okay, kopyahin mo na lang yun. CH3. Tapos yung X mo is Cl. Okay, so ganun lang. R, X kasi. Ito yung R eh. Yung dinugtong mo. Tapos yung X, edi kung ano halogen mo. Na ako gusto ko chlorine. Gusto mo bromine, edi sige, bromine. Okay? Basta kailangan bromine din dito. Okay? So, ganun lang. Kung ano dinugtong, yun yung ilalagay mo sa R. And then yung X, kahit anong halogen yan. Okay? So that's the alkylation. Okay, and that will be followed by nitration. Nitration muna. Okay? Ano uli yung chemicals kapag nitration? Nitric acid and sulfuric acid catalyst. Ayan. So, dito yung CH3. O, dito na lang yung NO2. Sir, kahit saan ko po ba pwede ilagay yan? Okay lang. Pwede mo lagay dito. Pwede mo lagay dito. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Kasi hindi naman tayo magiging strict dyan. Pero kapag BS Chem kayo, strict yan. May specific position talaga dapat sila. But for now, okay na to. Yan. So after nitration, then we will have reduction to amine. Okay, ano yung kailangan sa reduction to amine? H2 platinum. So, yung NO2 magiging NH2. Yan. So, that ends our reaction sequence. So, ganun lang. Okay? Pag nakakita kayo ng product, tapos ang reacting mo is benzene, ay reactant mo is benzene, isip ka ng pwede gawing steps. No? Just remember ano yung madudugtong for the alkylation, ano yung madudugtong for the acylation, ano madudugtong for the sulfonation, ano madudugtong for the halogenation, nitration, and reduction to amine. So you just need to check ano yung pwede mo idugtong from those reactions. Kunwari, nakita ko, ang dinugtong ko ay CH3. So, alkyl group yon. So, mag-alkylation ako. Dito, meron akong amino group, NH2. So, saan ba galing yung amino? Sa nitro, di ba? So, sabihin, kailangan ko ng nitro at the same time, kailangan ko ng reduction to amine. Okay? So, yan. Tandem sila pag nakakita ka ng NO2. Okay? When it comes to the position, we are not strict again kasi nga that's too complicated for you. Okay? So, we'll try to simplify things lang. And this is the simplest approach to this. Okay? So, yun lang. So, just remember, again, ito ang pinaka central dogma natin for this chapter. So it shows all the reagents, no? All the electrophiles also included na dyan. Okay? And then yung products nila. Okay? So just remember kung ano yung nakadugtong, may certain mechanism yan. Kunwari, halogen yung nakadugtong, edi ito yun. Nitrate yung nakadugtong, edi ito yun. Amino nakadugtong, edi follow this sequence. Okay? So after nito, ito agad. Sulfonate nakadugtong, ito yun. Acyl yung nakadugtong, ito yun. And lastly, alkyl ang nakadugtong, ito yun. Okay? So, yun. So, ganun yung gagawin nyo. Most likely for the quiz. Okay? However, I will post a practice quiz this weekend. So, nitong weekend ko na lang ipopost para makapag kayo try. Okay? So that ends our session and ako ay nagugutom na. So thank you for attending our class. I hope you learned something, especially on the biological importance of this topic, especially phenols as our antioxidants. Okay? So abang lang muna kayo sa practice quiz because ayusin ko pa siya. Okay? So thank you and see you again next week for chapter 8. Okay? Chapter 8 na tayo next week. Malapit na tayo matapos. Okay? Okay, so thank you. And bye-bye. Okay, so ingat muna. Bye-bye. And kain na tayo ng lunch. Bye-bye.